There's no, and it's not really surprising that the most vocal opponent within the cabinet to this agreement is the Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, coming from the far right. According to Ben-Gvir, Israel had a historic chance to bring Hezbollah down to its knees, basically to destroy Hezbollah altogether. Ben-Gvir saying that Israel brought immense damage to Hezbollah, but not enough. Hezbollah is still around, still has capabilities, and will eventually move forward to the border as it did in the past. And in a few years' time, the two sides will find themselves in a war again. According to Ben-Gvir, Israel should have gone on with this campaign and inflict even more damage to Hezbollah. Ben-Gvir, as opposed to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu or Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, of course, does not have to cope with the pressure coming from the United States. He only speaks to his voters. It's easier to do that once you don't have to deal with the international pressure.
For more on the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire deal, we're now joined via Zoom from Johannesburg by Naim Jina, the Executive Director of the Afro-Middle East Center. Thank you very much, Naim, for joining us. So we have a ceasefire in effect now. What can we expect to be Israel's next move?
Well, in the next 60 days, Israel is supposed to withdraw all its troops into its own territory and out of Lebanese territory. Indications are that it's going to abide by that and move in that direction. The big issue, of course, is after that, or not after that, but after now, whether that has any effect on the genocide that it's perpetrating in Gaza.
Right. So, any comments? Do we know of any comments from Hezbollah on this reported deal? And also, what is the Lebanese government saying, especially about deploying its army to the south? What impact will this deal have on the region as well?
So Hezbollah has accepted the deal. I mean, they were negotiating via the parliament speaker, Nabih Berri. They've accepted the deal. They've also implemented now a ceasefire from their side. The deployment of Lebanese troops to the south, it's something that the Lebanese government has been asking to do since the attacks from Israel began. The Lebanese army, of course, is not a very strong army. It can neither take on Hezbollah nor can it take on the Israeli army. But its role will be more of a peacekeeping role to, in a sense, create a buffer zone together with the UNIFIL, the United Nations forces. We know, of course, that Israel doesn't have any kind of great respect for UN forces or anyone else. Attack the UN base, the UNIFIL base in the south of Lebanon, demolish some of their buildings, etc. In terms of the region, I mean, the one thing is that the American view is that they're hoping that this will kickstart in some way other deals, and they're not talking about Palestine, of course, and not talking about Gaza, but particularly normalization deals with other states such as Saudi Arabia. That's not going to happen. I mean, Biden would like that to happen before he leaves office. That's not going to happen. The big question is about Gaza itself, and there's no deal on the table regarding Gaza. The Israelis have made commitments on that over the past year, then walked back those commitments, violated those commitments, etc. To the extent that one of the mediators, Qatar, even pulled out of the mediation because they felt that it was useless because Israel was not abiding by commitments they had made. So as far as that front is concerned, we see the genocide continuing in quite horrific ways. The northern part of Gaza, there's no hospitals, there's no aid going through, etc. Today a school was bombed. So that is where all eyes should be turning now, and what we're seeing is a genocide continuing. The other regional dynamics at the moment, I think we should wait and see. There's speculation about whether Israel, now that it will be out of Lebanon, will try and go after Iran, etc. The point is that if Israel could not defeat Hezbollah, and they couldn't, and that's why they settled for this ceasefire deal, they're not going to be able to take on Iran, let alone anyone else. So I don't think that there's going to be an expansion of Israel's war in other parts of the region. But on the Palestinian front, they're going to intensify in Gaza and in the West Bank.